Live from WPRI 12, this is The Rhode Show, the place for what's hot and happening. You're having fun, eating well, and living life on The Rhode Show.
Good morning and welcome to The Rhode Show. It is Tuesday, March 20th, 2012, and I am Will Gilbert.
Good morning, I'm Michaela Johnson.
And I'm Mary Larson.
Another beautiful spring day. Officially spring now that we can say it.
Yeah.
I think tomorrow's the first
Probably full day. Full day of
Mm-hmm.
spring, yeah.
But around, what was it, 1:40 in the morning? Or
1:15, 1:15,
something like that
yeah.
in the morning.
Yep.
Spring has officially arrived.
Did everybody enjoy the day yesterday?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Of course I
it was
did.
nice. It was so nice yesterday.
Brought the dogs to the park,
Yeah.
watched them run around, and I can't tell you, so many dogs, they were just panting.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think they're used to
They're
the
not
heat
used to the
either,
weather.
so not only are they running around, but now it's hot, and they got everyone still has their, winter coats on,
Right,
as I like to call it. No one's gotten
Good to be brushing it all off, yeah.
Yep.
I put the dog out in the backyard. The sun was shining. All I heard was, just laying in the sun.
From you? Oh, is that
No, not from me.
you or the
Well, I
dog?
probably have made that sound too, but that was just the dog.
Finally, it's here.
Okay, spring has officially sprung. As we
Yes.
said, it arrived during the wee hours of the morning today, and this is going to sound like a broken record, but we may have another gorgeous day on tap. Yesterday, we broke another record when the temperature hit 73 degrees, smashing the old record of 69 set in 2010. Tony Petrarca is also predicting that Thursday will be a record breaker as well. The average high for this time of year is 51 degrees. I like this weather much, much better.
I agree.
The 51.
Than the 51 degrees, sure.
But even now, even if I feel like we did have a day or two where it was, mid-50s, I'll still kind of take that 1 or 2 days because of the stretch that we
Because you know
have.
that we're in the final stretch, and knock on wood,
I know.
it's over.
Let's
It's
hope.
over.
Going out like a lamb.
I don't want to jinx it though.
No.
No.
Stop right there.
I'm stopping.
All right, well, a local company has received a very prestigious honor. Pawtucket-based Hasbro was named one of the world's most ethical, of course I'm slurring now, most ethical companies by the Ethisphere Institute. Hasbro was recognized for its socially responsible business practices. Only 145 companies worldwide were selected for the award out of more than 5,000 nominations.
Wow.
Got a lot of happy workers in
A lot
this
of happy
state.
workers over at
apparently.
Hasbro. Fun place to work, I guess.
Yeah.
Fun place, and they play by the rules, apparently.
And they're being honored for it.
All right, okay, buckle up. Season 5 of The Jersey Shore just ended, but the cast is already gearing up for Season 6. MTV announced yesterday that the 6th season of the hit reality show will start filming this summer. The entire cast is set to return, including, yes, Nicole Snooki Palazzi, who recently confirmed she is pregnant and engaged. No word on when Season 6 will premiere. And don't forget, Rhode Island native Paulie D's show premieres on MTV next week.
Now, if it's going to be shooting in the summer, she's going to be showing and walking the shore, and that's going to be, maybe they'll have a baby shower while she's there.
Yes.
I think
wedding.
Paulie D has already signed up to DJ that
He's going to
baby
DJ.
shower.
He's going to DJ the baby shower.
And I'm not making that up.
No,
that
he
is
really
a real thing. But
said
in
like-
total Jersey style, I'm sure there'll be fist pumps and rattles and
And bump it.
bedazzling. and,
yeah.
Yep, there you go. A lot of stuff. That season's going to be very different.
Very interesting.
Very
Let's hope everybody behaves with the baby. All right, we've got a great show coming up. Let's see what's on the way on the Rhode Show this morning.
It's a hit in theaters. The #1 movie in the country is 21 Jump Street. We're talking to stars Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill about the film.
Plus, March Madness comes to Rhode Island. We'll take you inside the preparations as URI welcomes the NCAA and show you how local elementary schools are getting involved.
And in the kitchen, the Canfield House joins us. We're making a delicious appetizer for your next get-together. Baked brie. Plus, we're sampling beer pairings.
Then it's prom season, and from trendy to classic, we're looking at some of this season's best dresses that both teens and parents will approve of. Happening here, March Madness is upon us, and with a national championship just a few weeks away, the competition is really heating up for both the men and the women. The Ryan Center at the University of Rhode Island is a host site this year for the women's tournament, and we get a chance to check out their transformation. A little over a year ago, the University of Rhode Island put in a bid to host one of the most coveted events in women's basketball. And now their request is reality.
Everybody's talking about the NCAA Women's Regionals coming to Kingston, Rhode Island. It's a really big deal. It's a big deal for the University of Rhode Island, for the state of Rhode Island, and for New England.
The regional tournament is made up of the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. so the Ryan Center has to look the part.
We got the court in for the NCAA Women's Regionals. They bring their own court. They provide their own court, which everything on the court is painted in. There are no decals placed on the court. I think each piece, I'm not quite sure how many pieces there are 200 pounds, and we had about 20 guys in here setting up the court between yesterday and today.
But the court isn't the only transformation.
We're going to be creating rooms in the loading dock. Our football locker room is turned into a media work room, or a media interview room. The stage storage room is turned into a media work room. Every single space is tweaked in the building.
The Ryan Center is expecting well over 10,000 people for both events. One group that's excited for the event is Mrs. Colosi's 6th grade class at Greenwood Elementary.
We were asked to follow Rutgers throughout the season. We've been following them since late October. We correspond with them. We use their statistics and their any information we can find about Rutgers.
They're part of the Adopted Team program that many elementary and middle schools in the state are participating in.
We use it in our classroom for math, language arts, social studies. We actually got to meet our stars at a Providence College game. They played late in February. We were invited to go and meet the players and the coaches afterwards. It's been an amazing experience for everybody.
If you couldn't tell from their shirts, this class is hoping for the best from the Scarlet Knights, who've been very grateful for the support.
Everyone received a t-shirt, keychains, magnets, posters, and an individual letter from either a player, a coach, or a staff member. And we treasured every item, especially in individual basketball for each student, signed by Coach Stringer, who is a Hall of Famer.
Rutgers women's basketball statistics are used to help the students learn fractions and percentages.
We get to incorporate all their scores and all their stuff that they do into work that we get to do in the classroom.
It's kind of been fun combining like their statistics and doing math problems with it.
And even create a few new fans.
I didn't really like basketball before this, so it kind of got me into it.
Well, I actually learned a lot from this because I could have cared less about basketball until we did this.
Go Lady Knights! And joining us this morning is Deputy Director of Athletics at URI, Greg Burke. Good morning, Greg.
Hey, Michaela, how are you doing?
Great. You must be so excited right now. The campus must be abuzz. I mean, talk about the importance of having this, regionals in our hometown, really.
Well, it's great. Any Division I team that has women's basketball can bid on this. We did it 2 years in a row. We're the only ones from Rhode Island who ever did it. It really fulfills the kind of things Dr. Dooley, our president, has said about being an economic engine for the state. So it helps the university to have it here. Obviously, it helps the athletic department. It's great for our friends in the Ryan Center. And at the end of the day, it's great for the people of Rhode Island to have 4 great teams come here. There's going to be a lot of money spent in New York and Newport and Warwick. And we're thrilled to be part of that economic drive.
Definitely. And let's talk about, UConn. You associate basketball with UConn, 9 times out of 10. The men's and women's programs have been so strong throughout the years, especially the women's team. They're in the tournament. They're visiting. So what does that mean to have these huge teams and their fan base come along with them?
Well, we don't root against anybody, but we rooted hard for UConn all year.
Yeah.
And when they won the Big East to beat Notre Dame after having lost 2 games to Notre Dame during the year, there was a celebration for us. UConn's going to be in a Newport area hotel. There'll be 1,000 bed nights right there. It's going to hit at a perfect time for Newport Restaurant Week. UConn is the story in women's basketball over the last 20 years. And to have them come to our site, we're very close to the UConn people. We're thrilled with Coach Oriama, and it's going to be crazy. Last night, from the time they won till we left the office around 1:45 in the morning, we probably did $25,000 in ticket sales because UConn won. So
that's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
And talk about the efforts, too, that go behind this. I mean, we got a sneak peek of the court that's there. It's not completely finished. You're still waiting on one key element.
It's an underrated part of what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the baskets. So
you need that.
Right now, if it does, we're going to have an ultimate Frisbee contest. But we expect the baskets on Thursday. We'll have them assembled by Friday. But the effort, I get to be on a show and talk to you who knows basketball and did all these pieces, but I'm really just the best spectator here. We have so many people on campus, from the president and Thor Bjorn, the athletic director, wanting us to do these things. We have a huge committee of people in our office from, I'll give you a million names, Tracy Burns, who's an administrative assistant doing the hotels, Vinny Turco running the game operations, Shane doing our Shane Donaldson doing all our PR, Adam Shem, all the people in the Ryan Center. We have
all these different elements that you probably don't think of.
Well, it's just there's so many logistics. We actually hired a great girl, Alison Litsky from Johnson & Wales, to be our intern to do all the details. There's so much work. The manual that we have for the games now, and we call the Bible, is this thick. We're really at the point, we're like a football team that's been in two-a-days for a year and a half.
Yep.
We've hitting each other. We want to go out and hit someone else.
All right, and lastly, what can people expect on, of course, next Sunday and Tuesday going to these games?
Well, first of all, it's going to be crazy exciting. We play it Sunday at 4:30 and 7 o'clock. We don't know the game order yet. We'll learn that tonight. We play Tuesday at 7 o'clock. People can access tickets 874 Rams or www.gorody.com. Swing by the Ryan Center. We're probably getting, by the time I get back to the office, we'll be close to the halfway point, so we have plenty of good tickets, and it's just going to be spectacular. It's going to be one of the best women's athletic events in the history of Rhode Island.
All right, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much for joining us, and love women's hoops. So for more information on getting in on the March Madness action at the Ryan Center, head to WPRI.com.
We are in the Rhode Show kitchen this morning. Go Newport Restaurant Week.com. Chef Brian Garbanda is here from the Canfield House. We're going to make baked brie, right?
Yes.
It smells fantastic.
Excellent.
Thanks for being here this morning. Let's remind everybody when Restaurant Week is for Newport Restaurant Week.
It starts March 23rd to April 1st. That's next Friday to the following Sunday.
Okay, so all the great restaurants in Newport, open for business. Come on down to Newport, get a great meal, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to make baked brie this morning. Let's tell everybody what we need for before we get into the action.
Okay, first off, we have to start with our puff pastry. We have our brie over here. We have chopped bacon, capers, and diced shallots. We're going to put homemade strawberry preserves inside the baked brie and brush it with an egg wash and bake it.
Okay, now you were saying the puff pastry. So this is something, this isn't a recipe you've got to prepare weeks in advance for.
Oh, no.
This is something if you get that last minute call of friends coming over, family coming over, you can whip this up, break out the the dough here, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you can make it ahead of time. You can even pop it in the freezer and pull it out if you have unexpected guests coming out, and then just pop it in the oven.
Okay, and then you have the brie cheese. Now, when you go to the market, you're looking for brie cheese. There's so many different types of cheeses. What do you want to look for when you're getting this? I mean, you're a professional. You're the guy who's in that kitchen all the time cooking. What are you looking for?
Well, in the stores, the brie is mostly the same. You want a high fat content in the brie. For usually the French kinds are the best, but there are domestic kinds, American, California, which are similar in flavor and everything as well.
So it's all kind of almost like a preference, whatever you're into. And then we have bacon here. Any
type of bacon. I like to use thick cut smoked bacon, maple smoked bacon.
Adds a real rich flavor to it.
Yes, sir.
I know it smells fantastic because we could smell it all over the place, and nothing is better than bacon. All right, so we got all our ingredients ready to go. We're going to wrap up this brie in just a little bit. In the meantime, back to you.
Spring is in the air, which means teen girls and their parents throughout Rhode Island are thinking it's almost here, prom night. But what to wear may still remain a question. So joining us this morning from Macy's is Marissa Nicolaescu from Macy's, who's brought some models to show us the fashion-forward prom looks. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm excited, and I'm not even going to prom.
This is such an exciting time of year, and it's the one night where the look has to be right. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, prom goers these days, they're so sophisticated. They're looking at the fashion magazines, they're looking at the red carpet trends, so we're going to look at some celebrity-inspired looks today.
So what are going to be the trends that we're going to be really looking for?
Well, again, it's all about award season just ended, and again, the sophisticated prom goers that they are, it's all about red carpet, celebrity, all that good stuff.
Well, let's jump in first with our first model, Samantha. Tell me something about her look.
Samantha looks, this is a beautiful, amazing nude, high-necked sequined gown by Nightway, and on the red carpet, nude was a huge trend this year, and the key to getting this look right is that you don't want to accessorize too much. You need to let the look speak for itself. She's got a cute little clutch there and some gold strappy sandals by Guess, and that's really all she needs to complete the look.
Yeah, you can even have the beautiful simple hair, just so elegant. I really like this look. Gorgeous. And next we're going to be singing Asia. She's going to be wearing a strapless look, which of course is always in, especially for prom.
That's true.
It's been all over the carpet. So let's take a look at hers.
Absolutely. Well, from a nude neutral to a bold jewel-toned red strapless dress. This one's by Jessica McClintock. And Asia really pulls this off perfectly. Again, we're not going to accessorize too much. And the great thing about this dress, especially on a girl with a leaner figure, it creates the illusion of a curvier body, if that's a look that you're going for. And again, accessories, again, the trend that we're seeing this season, sparkle.
Oh, I love it. Red is such a fun color. And so speaking of red, we're going to be talking about a red carpet inspired look on Taylor.
Exactly. Hands down, the Gwyneth Paltrow look was the hands down favorite of every fashion editor, every red carpet critic, and we know how tough they can be. So here we have our very own version by Laundry. $270. Not bad. That's a lot of look for $270 with a little bit of rhinestone detailing on the side.
Yes.
And a very simple rhinestone cuff completes that look. And that looks tremendous in it. She looks great.
Little Angelina Jolie
Exactly,
action.
the leg, exactly. She looks great.
And so I noticed that, the little sparkle, we've been seeing that on the shoes, in all different types of accessories, but our next model is going to have a lot of sparkle going on. We're going to have Katie who's coming in.
Exactly. Well, this is for the girl who really has her heart set on a black dress but still wants to rock the sparkle trend. This is by Roberta, $159, and again, strapless ball gown of sorts, and she looks tremendous in this one as well.
She does, and it's nice because that black, really tones it down a bit, and then the silver just kind of glistens. It would be perfect for a prom dance.
She's ready for her big night.
And could we have all of the girls come back together? Of course, we're going to be looking at all these different trends, from red carpet to now prom night. And tell me a little bit about Macy's by Appointment.
Well, the great thing about Macy's by Appointment is it is a free personal shopping service, and all you need to do is call either Macy's Providence Place or Macy's Warwick, ask for Macy's by Appointment, and they'll set you up with an appointment with a personal shopping expert.
And would students or teens be able to bring in with their parents?
You know what? That would be a great mother-daughter shopping experience. I think it'd be the ultimate in the perfect prom dress shopping experience.
I'm going to live vicariously through all these girls. Thank you so much, Marissa, for coming in. And we always love it when you bring in the latest looks and fashions. We're going to be putting all of the details about these looks on our website, plus a link to Macy's full selection. So check it out now on WPRI.com.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation makes dreams come true for children suffering from life-threatening illnesses. Yesterday, one little boy's dream brought him to Rhode Island to visit Hasbro's toy shop in Pawtucket, where he got to design his very own personalized version of his favorite toy. Steve Nielsen has more.
Eyewitness News was invited to take part in 7-year-old Varun Kalavala's dream. Our cameras watched as Hasbro designed a personalized transformer for a kid with a wish. This is Omega Varun, and this is the designer, 7-year-old Varun Kalavala.
Maybe part of my own design that I came up with.
Varun's diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia. The Make-A-Wish Foundation of Massachusetts and Rhode Island flew the North Carolina 7-year-old all the way to Rhode Island to the Hasbro headquarters to deliver Varun's wish.
Does he have maybe a comlink?
Varun designed his own transformer.
Gadgets, like maybe something that helps communicate.
He's been having a dream kind of that he wants to design his own.
Varun's dad says his son has been a huge fan of the show for years.
They're trying to come up with a transformer with his image kind of transcribed on it.
And the future transformer designer toured the whole Hasbro facility.
He's just a wonderful young man, really, who's in love with Transformers, and it came out today. He was just in awe, talking to all of the designers. And
Varun wanted his transformer to be a spy.
I just like being sneaky.
The 7-year-old was very appreciative to Make-A-Wish and Hasbro.
I'm glad they did this. This is one of my dreams come true.
Soon the Omega Varun design will come to life, so Varun can have his very own transformer. Make-A-Wish tells us that they fulfilled 48 wishes for kids in Rhode Island last year, and interesting to note, the foundation says that nearly half of the kids wished for a trip to Walt Disney World. For The Rhode Show, I'm Steve Nielsen.
Still to come this morning on The Rhode Show, Tim Tebow's future is unclear as Peyton Manning heads to the Broncos. TMZ has more on who is sticking by Tebow's side.
Plus, the stars of the #1 movie in the country, 21 Jump Street, join us to talk about their success.
Test results, gentlemen.
You're watching The Rhode Show, and we're back in 90 seconds.
It's time now to go inside TMZ for all the latest from Hollywood, and joining us as always is Dax Holt. Now Dax, Oprah's network OWN just canceled Rosie O'Donnell's show, but that's not the only layoff, is that right?
No, it's not, and you know what? It sounds like 30 people over at the OWN network got the axe yesterday, and it was just brutal. We're hearing it was like a bloodbath. People were getting fired left and right. Huge execs were getting fired. Obviously not a good sign for the OWN network. I know that their ratings have been struggling since its launch. However, once you start firing all kinds of different departments, you start to wonder how long this channel will even be around. But you know, what was interesting was listening to all these people just moan and complain about about Rosie and the show, saying that she was just a horrible person to work for, and you know, she was blaming pretty much everyone around her, saying the director couldn't direct, the producers couldn't produce, and you know, these are all the same people that worked on the Oprah show, so I'm pretty sure they knew what they were doing.
Yikes, really shaking things up. And speaking of shakeups, it looks like that's exactly what Peyton Manning is doing with Tim Tebow. He's supposedly going to the Broncos now, but someone who says that they will stick by Tebow no matter what is his sponsor.
His sponsor is saying they will be there, and that is Jockey. Jockey is saying that they will support Mr. Tebow until the end, and he is still their #1 choice, and they've got him on the field and off, and where it counts, they will be supporting him.
All right, nothing like some good old Jockey support. And now that Halle Berry is engaged, it looks like she's school shopping for her daughter, but where is she looking?
Yeah, here's the thing. She's looking over in France. She is in Paris with her boyfriend, or her fiance, Olivier, and they're looking around, shopping at preschools. The problem is, the judge still hasn't signed off that Halle could even move to France. She has been asking for this for some time, saying that she doesn't feel safe here in the U.S. and wants to move to France. And the judge is saying, I don't know, you're in the middle of a huge custody battle right now, so he has to sign off on everything, but apparently she feels pretty confident, and that's why she's checking out the schools.
I guess so. All right, Dax, thanks so much. And of course, you can catch TMZ TV on our sister station, Fox Providence, at 7 p.m. Or for more information on any of the stories, head to our website, WPRI.com.
Hollywood is giving us a flashback to one of the most popular streets in the 80s. As 21 Jump Street makes its way into theaters, the film follows police officers who go undercover at a high school. Joining us this morning are the stars of the movie, Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Will. What's up, man?
Thanks for being on with us today. Jonah, I just wanted to start with you. You and I, believe it or not, we have a mutual love of Howard Stern. And I heard you on with Howard saying that this movie took you 5 years to write.
Yeah. Well, from when I started to now it coming out tomorrow, it's been 5 years since I started, yeah.
And what's the pressure like? I mean, writing, a movie like this, you want to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, I think it has potential. It had potential to be one of the most fun, crazy, big action comedies in a long time, and that's because getting to relive the most important part of your youth and thinking you have all the answers and realizing you have none of the answers seemed like a great idea for a movie to me. And it took 5 years to make sure we got it exactly right.
All right, Channing, did he get it right?
I think he got it right. I definitely think he got it right.
That's great. Now I
wouldn't have done the movie if I didn't think he got it right.
And speaking of movies, you've been in just a ton of huge movies lately. I mean, you have The Vow, Dear John, G.I. Joe. What is it like going from those type of movies to a comedy like you're doing now with Jonah?
Well, they're both pretty wildly different from each other. I mean, I've never done like a straight out and out comedy before like this is, and but I have done the action, so I mean, I did have a bit of a touchstone to kind of wade into it. But Jonah really he just took care of me, man. He really did promise me that I was going to be funny, and and I would, if I didn't understand something, he would explain it and sort of walk me through it.
And Jonah, you just came off, you did Saturday Night Live, Oscar nomination for Moneyball. This is all, I mean, for both of you guys, actually, it's got to be a great time to be an actor, a great time to be in movies. How do you soak all this in?
You just feel lucky to get the opportunity to make different and great kinds of movies, For me, that's all I ever really cared about, was getting to do all different kinds of movies, and movies that at the end of the day I would want to go see.
And
I'm proud of.
And Channing, you this is one of the big movies that you're in, and we have 21 Jump Street, the TV show that a lot of people remember. What are the similarities, if any, are there to the TV show?
You know, it's about sort of babyface cops going undercover back to high school, and you know, I think that's pretty much, other than some homages, that I think that's really all that we take from the TV show. It's a pretty different film. I mean, it's a comedy. The TV show is a bit of a melodrama. It's very serious, and you know, we don't take very much serious in this movie. we just wanted to be a big hour-and-a-half like big fun romping like comedy.
Now you guys
with big action too.
Yeah.
You guys both do this movie, you know, like you said, going back to high school. While doing this movie, any flashbacks to your high school life?
Yeah, well, in a weird way, like I just don't understand what it would be like to be in high school now. You got Google. You can just Google any answer that you want, and that would have been really helpful back in the day.
I agree.
Well, congratulations on the movie. Best of luck to both of you guys. Thanks for joining us this morning. 21 Jump Street is out in theaters nationwide. Still to come this morning on The Rhode Show, we'll be back in the kitchen with Canfield House making baked brie and learn about pairing food with beer. Find the recipe right now at WPRI.com.
Plus, millions of people have already purchased a new iPad, and a new study shows those people are also reading more news. We'll talk about it next in The Buzz.
You're watching The Rhode Show on WPRI 12.
Welcome back to The Rhode Show. This morning in The Buzz, are you one of the millions who just went out and bought the new iPad? Mobile technology is growing, and apparently it's increasing our appetite for news. According to the Pew Research Center, more than a quarter of internet-connected Americans now follow news on mobile devices such as smartphones, tablets, or e-readers. The figure shows those users track news on a much more frequent and consistent basis than any other news consumer. So do you guys, well, if on your smartphones, on any of your phones, on your tablets?
Constantly.
I think we are all just, I mean, we're all in this age now. We want everything instantly. And it kind of doesn't matter what it is. Can you get an app as soon as you can? Can you get a message to someone as soon as you can? Can you find out what's the latest on, you know, pregnant Snooki if you want, or something, you know, other things that are happening in actual news, let's say it like that. But I just think it's those instant updates where you can, like I said, you can click your app, you can click the browser on your phone, you can have all of these instantaneous updates feeding through to you, and we just crave that.
Yeah, you do. I mean, you know, I'll be at home sometimes, and you know, you have your iPad right here, and you know, the thing will beep, and it'll have like breaking news come across from either, you know, our Channel 12 app or CNN or something like that, and you know, you get push one button, boop, scroll down, and
see the entire thing.
See the entire story. So
and
it makes it very easy.
You feel like you're out of it. And
you feel like you do feel like you're out of it, like you're missing out on something that, you know, maybe the rest of the world already knows. You don't want to be left out in the cold.
I like it because of the speed. You know, I think when I used to have more printed paper, you'd really have to flip over the pages, which is nice for maybe a Sunday. But if I'm getting ready at, you know, 4 in the morning and I want to see what the top headlines are, I want to flip through, get the gist of it, go to the next site. You see something completely different. And I think that's why we like it so much, because it's fast. You get the information right away, but you can also peruse it and peruse different topics quickly.
And like you said, you can be on the go while you're doing it. So that's what's so convenient about the smartphones, the e-readers, the tablets. You don't have your, you know, even your laptop, that sometimes gets bulky if you're running around, your hands are full, you got your kids, you got your food, you got your, you know, whatever the heck that you're doing. It's the conveniency. I mean, sometimes you look at the tablet, and that's even smaller. You get your smartphone, and that's in your hand all the time. I mean, when do you not have your cell phone in this day and age?
Well, talk about convenient. Think about comfortable, too. I mean, when you're generally at a computer or a laptop, it's because you're working and you're sitting and, you know, you don't really have the free time to do this. However, if you're on your phone or your tablet, you can be chilling out on a couch like right here, or even in bed. I know some people, before they even get out of bed, they're looking on their phone.
There are some times at home where, you know, I mean, we're all connected to these, like, you know, the news alert, the breaking news, where I'll be sitting there and I'll hear and it's binging all over the house because everything's connected to the same, you know, the same thing. So you rush, you get up, you're scrolling through to see what, you know, maybe, you know, breaking news that you may have, you know, may have missed.
How about even news, video news? I mean, that's something else that with the different apps or even just the different websites, you can now watch videos on this. So aside from, I know Kindles and everything now are able to somewhat do it as well. But before, the old tablets really were just that you could flip. And now you can see other media kind of news.
And even with the social media, you look at the numbers of people that are on the Facebooks, the Twitters, any other type of social media, but they're also posting news stories as well. So when you look at that major feed of who's doing what, and you know, you see some updates of statuses and things, but then you also see postings from people of local events, things that are happening in the news, tragedies, everything. It's all there on one screen.
Is it sad though? Is it sad to know?
Well, everybody wants to be connected, you know. I mean, the other great thing that I do love is that you're able to stream, you know, like you can stream our newscast, you can stream the Rhode Show right now. So, I mean, these are all things that, you know, keep everybody connected. You know?
I have to say, too, I think I have definitely, you know, since having the smartphones and the tablets and everything, I've divulged more into news than I would have because, like we said, it's instant, and the same thing too. You know, when you get your local newspaper, you're only getting a small fraction of the things that you can.
You can get more in depth with it. Yeah, I'll read like
and I've
USA
never been
Today.
good at folding that thing up. You know, you get it and it's so big and it's like origami.
But you know, it's so neatly packed, and then once you read it, you try and fold it back up, and then it becomes about this thick.
It's not the same.
How did they even do it?
It's not the same.
No. Well, I'm sure a lot of our online friends, it's Facebook and Twitter, are weighing in with especially this topic today. Mary?
Of course. Well, Jane Felix says, I periodically check the news throughout the day on my phone, but also watch the news in the morning while my daughter is getting ready for school, as well as in the evening to see what's going on.
Yeah, news going all over the place.
Bill Bowden said on Facebook that he's actually reading this question from his iPad. So.
Way to go, Bill.
He's connected.
And Donna Mitchell tells us on Facebook that she watches the news on TV in the morning and at night. She does check in on her iPad every once in a while, but loves to read the paper. She says it's old-fashioned, but great with coffee.
Very true,
so many people love it that way,
As long as you can fold it.
Yeah, as long as you can fold it back up again.
You too can weigh in by voting in today's poll. Do you read the news on a tablet or smartphone? Yes, I find them easy to use. Or do you prefer to read printed papers and watch news on television instead? So here's a look at some other topics that are trending online today. Well, today is the day that all things are equal. Day equals night, and night is the same span as day. Today is the spring equinox or vernal equinox. Either way you say it, today is the first day of spring. Google has a cute little doodle to mark today's bright event. It is also the Persian New Year, so Happy New Year to all of our Persian friends. Christine Mikado from Fall River sent us this touching video showing us that romance is not dead. Patrick, a member of the Fall River Fire Department, staged a proposal in the middle of Newport's St. Patrick's Day Parade to his long-term girlfriend, Kelly. She, of course, said yes. Check it out.
Right face!
It's so romantic, and what a day to remember. Congratulations to both Patrick and Kelly. We wish you guys the best. And here's another sweet video. 2-year-old Makenta's cover of Adele's sweet song, Someone Like You, received just shy, get this, of 1.5 million views on YouTube already. She's just wearing a pink top with a string of purple plastic beads around her neck, but this budding songstress belts out the tune, missing only a few of the lyrics. Listen to this.
Never like you to the best to you.
I'll be posting these videos up on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll be back at the end of the show with your poll results. For now, back to the kitchen with that baked brie. How's it going, Michaela?
Yeah, that's right. Baked brie is on the menu with Chef Brian, but right now we're joined by Jennifer Glanville from Sam Adams. We're going to talk about pairings. And that we're talking about beer pairings with food. So what should people keep in mind when they are pairing?
Yeah, I think what people should keep in mind is that beer is really one of the most complex alcoholic beverages, which means that there's more opportunities to pair it. So people should not stress out about it. You know, if you have a favorite food and you have a favorite beer, find a way to incorporate them. Brian and I were chatting earlier about cooking with food, and it's just great in the summertime. You can marinate meats and seafood and beer, and so I really encourage people just to really experiment, and we have some great recipes on our website, and it's just really fun, and it can bring beer really into your whole meal.
I love that. And you have 3 different kind of beers now, so let's go through all of them. So our first one is?
Well, our first one's Boston Lager, which we're going to taste.
Excellent.
So Boston Lager has a really distinct kind of piney citrus note. It's got a lot of complexity, but also a lot of balance. So this is great for the summertime with grilling meats, steaks. You know, it caramelizes on the grill, and it's going to bring out a lot of the caramel flavors in this. So let's have a sip.
Nice little summertime.
And I would actually pair this with the brie that he's making, with all the flavors that are in that, I would pair this beer with that.
I will set this aside for later. Okay, our next one.
We have our summer ale, and I will tell you, this is the first summer ale. This is literally just hot off the truck. I brought it here. This is the first. It's out probably in your local restaurants and bars. And this has a really distinct spicy note. So we use grains of paradise, which are a pepper. We also have lemon zest. So as a chef, you know, that brings a little bit of zip into it. It's very refreshing. And you'll get a really distinct lemon character.
We're going to taste this one now. Chef, what do you think?
It's good.
He likes that one. Okay, our last one, we're moving right down the line, is
Sam Light. So Sam Light is a light beer, but it's really not light on flavor. It has still a lot of flavor. It has some tropical fruit notes in it. And I would pair this with grilled chicken even. It will again bring out some caramel flavors. Salads in the summertime. Really some great pairings. And you'll still get some nice lighter notes, but it still has a lot of flavor.
delicious. They're all great. And especially with the warm weather that we've been having this week, maybe you guys can crack open a few Sam Adams and enjoy them with your baked brie, which we're going to finish up a little later in the show. Back to you.
Still to come this morning on The Rhode Show, we all know about student debt and how it's affecting college grads, but they are not the only ones suffering from extreme debt. Our education expert fills us in on how to help combat the problem. And later, looking to boost your look? It could be as easy as starting with your smile. Tips to make those pearly whites sparkle. You're watching The Rhode Show, and we're back in 90 seconds.
Today in higher learning, student loan debt is a growing problem that is often the topic of conversation. But it isn't just a problem facing 20-somethings. It's actually an issue for middle-aged Americans and for the parents of young students. And here to talk about this problem is Peter Kieran from the Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. Good morning.
Good morning, Mary.
So when we talk about this, we're thinking the 20-somethings, but it's actually people who are middle-aged, older, you know, not just fresh out of college. Tell us a little bit about that.
Exactly. I mean, there have been a couple of reports recently. I mean, when we think about it, we usually think of those 20-somethings coming out of college who are taking on historic levels of debt and facing a really tough job market. But there have been a couple of stories that came out in the last few weeks which show that the fastest growing segment of student loan debt holders is actually from those non-traditional older students, 35 to 49 years old, and that parents now are starting to take on a lot more debt than ever before.
And why is this so concerning?
Well, I mean, especially, let's talk first about the older non-traditional students. I mean, the same forces that are kind of driving, you know, the economy that's facing the young people coming out of college is kind of driving these older non-traditional students to go back to college. Yes. Because, you know, traditionally when the economy is not doing well, you try to go back to school, improve those job skills as a way of maybe getting a better job down the line. There was a study done by Reuters and Campus Progress, took a look at a study by this Credit Karma site, which analyzed 3 million bits of credit data, showed that that group of students from 35 to 49 years old is now responsible for a bigger part of the market. They've grown 47% over the last 3 years. They're taking on a lot more student debt. And it's being fueled in some cases by those for-profit colleges, which don't always do a great job of, they do a great job of advertising, but what they don't always do is deliver the kind of education that leads to positive results in terms of a better job. And you're also talking about an age group that, you know, because of where they are, they've got a shorter time horizon to pay that money back. They're going to be butting right up against that time when they should be saving for their retirement, and instead they're going to be worried about paying back private loans.
Yeah, and the other concern, of course, is the parents of the students.
Exactly. You know, we saw a study that came out. A guy named Mark Kantrowitz has a great website called finaid.org, and he reported that the parent loans from the federal government are now responsible for $100 billion of that marketplace of loans. And that's 10% of the market. That's grown over 75% since 2005, 2006. And what's happening is those parents used to take out second mortgages, but now because of the housing bubble, the equity on their house isn't that great, so now they're being forced to take out these loans, which again, that's going to eat into their retirement. So it really forces, parents really need to be sensible and make those hard choices, work with their students to make sure that what they're doing is affordable and isn't going to create high levels of debt for the student and for themselves.
All right. Well, thank you. This is all very, very important information, and you know, I think you're right that it isn't just the students who have currently just left, but everyone, you know, going up, whether they're going back to school or those parents. So
Right.
thank
It's
you.
a broader problem.
It is. It is. Well, thank you so much for coming in. And if you'd like to learn more about avoiding student debt at any age, head to WPRI.com.
Still to come this morning on the Rhode Show, we're back in the kitchen making baked brie, and don't forget you can cook along with us at WPRI.com. We'll be right back. GoNewportRestaurantWeek.com is in the kitchen. Chef Brian from Canfield House joins us to finish up that baked brie. We are ready to go.
We're ready to take orders.
Okay.
Whatever you need us to do.
All right. First, we're going to start by placing the brie into the puff pastry.
Okay, just one?
Yeah, 1/2.
One half.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Then we're going to spoon a little bit of the homemade strawberry preserves in the middle.
I can do that.
Can you use any other kind of flavor
Yeah,
too? Like,
you
let's
can,
say someone wants, I don't know, blackberry, blueberry.
Yeah, any types of jam or preserves that you have going around, or even whole fruit you can put in the middle of it. All right. So next, we're going to put the other on top like a sandwich.
All right. Does it matter what side of this?
You want the cheese side facing each other.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Glad you pointed that out.
Excellent.
All right, and then we're going to wrap it by placing the corners in, all 4 corners into the middle.
All right.
Corners.
This.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we're going to pinch the remaining sides all the way up into the middle as well.
How are we doing? How am I doing over here?
Perfect.
Okay, let's see.
Yep.
I can do this. I got this down.
I don't know how I'm doing,
Oh,
but
that's
I'm
awesome.
making it up. Okay.
Yep, that's awesome. And then we're going to take it and flip it, fold it side down on the cookie sheet.
On the cookie sheet. All right.
Go.
All right, and then we're going to place that into the oven. Actually, first we're going to brush it with egg wash.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
So a little egg wash.
Yeah.
Brush that on top.
Get that nice golden brown.
Yep, all the way around.
And when we do cook it, what is our oven set to?
You're going to do it at 375 for maybe 15 minutes, depending on the size of the brie. These are 4-ounce pieces, so 15 minutes should be enough time.
Perfect.
And then we're going to throw this into the oven.
This seems like a great, you know, appetizer. Let's say you're having people over. Let's say you just want it as a snack. It seems like really versatile.
Yeah, it's definitely easy. It's fun for a group of people or just 2 people so they can pick. You know, it's a conversation piece. You know, you sit around and eat it.
I can tell you if I break this out, if you're coming over to the house and I break out the brie, people will be very impressed with it. They will be very impressed.
I know, and it
does.
sounds fancy, it looks fancy.
And it's easy to do. And it was easy enough to do.
Yeah. And the topping that we have right here is the bacon, rendered off, drained the fat, and then we have the shallots and the capers mixed in. So we're just going to top that on top. And it gives it that smoky, crunchy, and salty flavor with the creaminess of the brie. And then we're
Looks
just
like
gonna
you got a great
look at that
olive oil there too, because that dark green flavor, right? The greener it is, the better.
the stronger, it's the more flavorful. It's
flavorful.
This is a cold pressed olive oil, which is the finest. So, and then we have that.
Yum. And do you have things like this at your restaurant? Tell us what you guys are doing for Restaurant Week.
This is going to be one of our appetizers for Restaurant Week. So this is going to be a starter, and then we have beef Wellington, which is another puff pastry dish for an entree. We also have veal chop, the stuffed veal chop with was it prosciutto and spinach. And then
everything sounds so good.
Yeah, and it's a great deal.
And let's remind everybody, Newport Restaurant Week, March 23rd through April 1st.
Yes, sir.
Yep. And you said it's a great deal, so how great is this deal?
For lunch, they have, what is it, $25 for 3 courses, and for dinner? $16 for
$16 for the lunch, and then
dinner is $30 for 3 courses.
Good deal.
Yes.
Excellent.
Good deal.
I'm going to
let's dig in here. Let's
dig
see
into that. No, is there a way to go about this? Do you cut it? Do you? No, there's not. Okay, there we go.
Just get into it.
Hop it in. We got some
in.
crackers over there.
Okay, and then you just place it on each one. I don't know why I'm so confused with this, but it's just like that?
Yep.
Yes?
Yes,
okay,
perfect.
here you go,
Thank
Will.
you. All right,
that one will be for you. I'll let you try it. I'll slice up my piece now. And can you serve this hot or cold? I mean,
you can serve it room temperature, like after it's baked, or you can serve it piping hot. That way it's a little more runny, if you like the runnier cheese.
That is really good.
But like you said, you can make it and then just set it out there and people go back and forth to it.
A great combination,
really
too.
Good.
The capers,
really good.
and you have the
Has
cheese.
a great taste to it, too. And don't forget, you can mix this up with the Sam Adams, too. Doesn't hurt to throw in a little Sam Adams, too.
Paired with a summer lager.
Yeah.
Or the Boston lager is the one that Jennifer has paired with this dish.
Which is always good.
Always good.
Always good. All right. For this recipe and much more, you can head to our website, WPRI.com.
When meeting someone for the first time, one of the first things we notice is their smile. But what happens if you don't think your smile is beautiful, or if you try to hide your teeth? Would you feel more confident if your teeth were whiter? Well, dentists are now able to offer patients some procedures to help them have a glistening and welcoming smile. Can having a healthy smile really change your life?
We know that people with a brighter smile are more outgoing. They're more financially stable, believe it or not. They do get a lot better opportunities in life. A white smile is, you can see it from 200 feet away, believe it or not. So it just attracts you to that person. So even interpersonal relationships, someone looking to meet someone, it really helps to have a white smile.
Dental patients Marie Penta and Donald Silva felt inhibited by the way their teeth looked.
Before, I was a little embarrassed because of the extensive dental work that I needed to be done.
It really stopped me from smiling a lot. I just became very, very self-conscious of it. And I would turn my head and I just wouldn't say thanks just because I was afraid to smile.
So what should patients do to help get their beautiful smile?
See your dentist every 6 months, of course. Have a very good initial examination. Make sure that your bite is in great health. And from then on, it's just basically like building something out of a perfect foundation.
People with naturally white and healthy teeth sometimes find their teeth stained due to coffee or tea. In many cases, this can be fixed with bleaching. However, if you have an unstable bite or decaying teeth, you'll need to address those issues first.
I was very apprehensive because there was so much work that had to be done. It's scary.
The results can be life-changing.
I smile more. I'm very happy with my smile. I get a lot of compliments with my smile.
Now when I go into some place, when I coach, when I give lessons or something in softball, I just go in there with this real confidence that no matter what anybody says, I can joke around with the kids, I can smile.
The doctors at Access Dental tell us that a great smile is a sign of warmth, confidence, and health. If you'd like to get your pearly whites in tip-top shape, you can find out more by heading to our website, WPRI.com.
Coming up on The Rhode Show, we'll reveal the answer to today's web poll. Stay with us.
It's time to check back in with today's web poll. More and more people are reading news through a tablet device instead of the paper. So are you reading the news on an iPad or a smartphone? 60% of you prefer to read printed papers and to watch news on television, whereas 40%, including myself and Will, like to use our iPads. Back over to you.
I think we're singling somebody else out.
I don't have an iPad. Sorry.
All right, coming up tomorrow on The Rhode Show, looking to get the most out of your wardrobe this spring, we're going to take a look at one trend and how to rock it 3 different ways.
Plus, an amazing race size challenge as Will and myself take on the Amazing Race reality stars Mike and Louie in a burrito eating contest. Who will come out on top? You're going to have to find out tomorrow.
I'm having flashbacks.
Thanks for joining us on The Rhode Show.
For more information on anything you've seen here on the show, just head to our website, WPRI.com.
We'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day. Here, you can borrow mine.